As you have seen the story of the coal in the video, now let us find out what are the things were over there. We have seen that 300 million years ago the coal were produced, means how they were produced. The forest was having the decaying over there, and because of these natural calamities they have just went inside the earth, and thus the coal was formed. Now here a new word is coming, a new term that is coming, that is called the carbonization. Now what is this carbonization? Let's see. As the coal contains mainly carbon, it is more of the consist of the carbon only, because it is made from the plants and the trees. So it is containing more of the carbon in it. The slow process of the conversion of the dead vegetation into the coal is called the carbonization. We know that when the plants are preparing their food, they inhale more amount of the carbon dioxide also they are having in their own self. Now what is this? That carbon will be produced over there and will be staying in the plants as it is. Thus when the plants and the trees are buried under the soil, they will be having more often carbon in themselves. Now this is what the carbon will be converted into the coal, and thus this process of conversion of the vegetations, means the plants and the trees, into the coal is termed as carbonization. So this is what the carbonization is. Now when we will be having the coal being burnt, we can find so many things coming out of that as a product. Now these are the coal tar, coal gas. We will be studying about this. So coke is one of the solid part that is coming out after heating the coal. So when we are heating this coal, we can even find the gas also. Now the carbon, we will be having the gas which is released in this is the carbon dioxide gas in the huge amount. So let us study about the other things of the coal. When they are buried, what will be coming out of that? The first thing is the coke, and the next thing will be coming out is the coal tar, and the last thing which is coming is the coal gas. So let's study about the coke first. So here we have three of the products which we can obtain from the coal by heating it. Okay, so first product that we are getting is the coke. Coke is a solid substance. Now what it is looking like? It is very tough, porous, black substance and pure form of the carbon. What are the uses that where we can use this coal? That coke uses in the steel manufacturing. When we are constructing the steel, being black color, but still it is useful in the making of the steel. Then it can be used in the extraction of the many of the metals. Whenever the metals are being extracted, it is used to specify that these are the different metals. The second substance that we get after the coke is the thick liquid form which is known as coal tar. You must have heard the word tar. Where it is being used? Yes, it is being used for the metaling of the roads, understand? But nowadays as we have become more often updated, so we are not using this coal tar for metaling of the roads. Instead of that we are using the bitumen. Now what is this bitumen? Bitumen is also a form of a product of the petroleum only, but it is a different form. So it is a form of the petroleum, and this is what the product of the coals are. Okay. Now different things are present in the coal tar. There are almost 20 substances as a treasure is present in the coal tar. Now what are the uses where we can use this coal tar nowadays? In some of the portions of these things it is being used. These are the dyes, means different colors, drugs, means some of the medicines. Then explosives, as we know what are the explosives. Then we have the perfumes also. Yes, surprisingly, but it is true. Then plastics, the paints, we are having the smell very badly. But photographic material also they are using the black colored coal tar, which is a thick liquid. Now here a word is mentioned, that is naphthalene balls. We know that naphthalene balls are used to repel the moths or other insects in a house or with the clothes. So this naphthalene ball is also made from the coal tar only. Now let's switch on to the next portion of this, that is called the coal gas. Gas, it means it is in the gaseous form itself. So we are getting three substances from it, that is coke and coal gas and the coal tar. These are the three things which we are getting. Now what is this coal gas? How it is being released? When we are converting the coal by heating process into the coke, means in the solid form, when it is being turned into the coke, it will be releasing the gas, that is called the coal gas. Now here in our textbook it is mentioned that where the use of the coal gas is. Coal gas was used for the street lighting for the first time in the London in 1810. You can think about when it was being used in 1810 means it is a vast difference. In the New York also around 1820 they have utilized. Nowadays it is being used as a source of the heat rather than the light, because now we know that for lighting purpose we have more updates with us, but for the coal gas we can use them for the heating purpose, means these gases are released nearby the places where the coal is being heated and converted to the coke. Being the gas, it can be released very easily. So we are having the factories nearby these sources where we can just pass on the pipelines through which this coal gas will be utilized in the factories for the purpose of the heating. So this is what we have seen as the product coming from the coal. By heating them we get coke, coal tar and the coal gas. The other exhaustible natural resource. The second natural resource we have is the petroleum. So this petroleum means what to us? Yes, it means the petrol, diesel, whatever the natural gases are available and whatever the liquefied petroleum gas that we are using, that is the petroleum. Now let us find out two very important and very useful things in our life, that is the petrol and diesel. Where is petrol being used? Yes, petrol is used in the light automobiles, that is in our scooter, in our bikes and whatever the bikes you are having at the home. But what about the diesel? Yes, diesel is being used in the heavy motor vehicles, means we can say about the tractors, the trucks and even in some of the cars also. Yes, okay. So let's see that what they are. Petrol and diesel, they are obtained from a natural resource called the petroleum. We know that petroleum is a treasure of so many things, okay, but from that we are getting few things which are very useful for us and we are using it on and often. Now, what does that the petroleum word mean to us? Petroleum. When we divide this word, we say that petro means rock and lium means the oil. So, when we are having the oil from the rock means what to us? Yes, it is said that rock means the earth and the layer of the rocks in the earth will be having the oil in them, means the petroleum in them. It means that as its mined, we are getting it from the core of the earth, means from the inside the earth. So it is mined, it is not taken as it is. It is mined from between the rocks under the earth. So as we know that we have the layers of so many things in the earth, starting from the core. We have the last one as the crust and the innermost as the core. But in between, we have so many of the layers present, means you can see over here in the picture also. There are so many layers being shown. In that we are having on the top as the gas and then the petroleum, then the water. Now, how it is possible that gas and petroleum are on the top layer? So, I can explain you that, and you also know betterly that oil is always lighter than the water in their density. So, what will happen to petroleum? It will be lying on the top. Now, here is the thing that comes in your mind. How is the petroleum formed? As we have seen in the video of the coal also, that what was the history of the coal? The story of the coal you have seen. Similarly, we have the story of the petroleum also. Now, how is petroleum formed? But how was it formed? So, let's go back for millions of years ago. Now, what will happen over there? See, we can find petroleum under the sea regions. So, in the sea regions where the sea or ocean is there, we can find the petroleum, not on the earth's surface. So, what is there? So, land is not possible to have the petroleum. So, how it is being formed over there? So, you must be having some of the queries about that. I will be solving it out. So, the story of the petroleum is something like this, that when the aquarium or the what you can say the aquarium life was there, after some time some of the natural disasters has again came over there, and these animals, means the fishes and all the other turtle and all these other animals and the plants who were inside the ocean or the sea, they have just buried under them and some soil have already deposited on that, and because of that the high pressure was there, high temperature was being there, and thus they create and transfer themselves into the petroleum. It does not took 2 or 3 days, it took millions of years to form this petroleum. But we know that petroleum which we are obtaining now and going to the refineries for the different classification from that, means petrol, diesel, LPG, CNG, all these things we are getting after the refineries being helping us. So after the refining of all these things separately we are getting purely, and this we are using very often, means we are utilizing it in such a way that we just want to waste it, we just want to finish it up. But for your kind of information, it is available in nature, so we cannot use it so often because it will be finishing at one moment in the lifetime. So let's have a look at some aspects which are given in the textbook. They say that the world's first oil was drilled in the Pennsylvania, that is in USA. Until that people were not knowing that there is something like petroleum which is crude, which is having lot of things inside it, means it is a treasure of so many things. But now people came to know about this, that is in 1859. And after 8 years of that mining, we again had in 1867, that is oil was struck in the Makum in Assam, that is in India. Then in India we are having so many of the sources also, that is in Assam, Gujarat and in Mumbai High also, and in the river basins of the Godavari and Krishna. So you people can find out that there are so many factories allotted over there. So the reason is that we are having the treasure of the petroleum also in our India. So this is what about the petroleum we have. Now let us see the refining of this petroleum. Now what is the refining? Means we are taking out and separating so many things which are present in the petroleum. There is some method for it, but before that let us see what is this petroleum and how it is being refined. So here we come with dark oily liquid, means petroleum is very dark and oily liquid. Okay, so you would not even love to see that because it is very dark and oily too. Then it is unpleasant odor. It consists of unwanted smell which you would not like to smell it. So nobody would love to go near petroleum, but when it is refined we love to take the things which are coming out of it because we are using it often. Okay. Then we are saying that it's a mixture of various constituents. Now there are so many things, as I have said you, that is a treasure of so many things inside this. So what are the things which are present in it? We can say that it is petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax and so many things inside it. So that's why it is known as a treasure of so many things. But as it is dark in color and having very unpleasant smell, we would not like to see it. It's a crude oil. Okay. But there is the refining of these things which is being done. Now what is that? Now the process of separation of the various constituent means the things which are coming out of it, that is called the constituents of it, of the petroleum, is known as refining. The process is called refining when we are separating out all the things from this petroleum. Petroleum is a treasure, but when we are separating the things, this process is known as refining, and it's carried out in a petroleum refinery. The machine or the factory where it is being done is known as refining. We can say it is a petroleum refinery. Now we know that the famous refinery we are having in Gujarat is in Jamnagar, that is the Reliance, because it is doing the same work, nothing else than that. It is located in the seashore areas and it is having the petroleum coming to it. It is just separating, means it is doing the refining of the material of the petroleum and then it is separating and giving to the other sources also. Okay, so that is what its work is. Now let's come to a point. Now you know that petroleum is also having a nickname. Its other name is black gold. Now what is the reason that why we are knowing it as a black gold? Let's have the query to be solved. We have here that from most of the useful substances are obtained from the petroleum, the natural gas. Okay, so petroleum is what? It is in the middle portion, as we have seen in the picture also. The gas is lying on the top portion. Why? Because as it is gaseous form, its density is very less. So it is on the top, and then we have the petroleum which is having less density as compared to the water. So at the last we will be getting the water because it is having the heavy density. Okay, so the term is known as petrochemicals, means petroleum and natural gas. We can say it as a petrochemical. These are used in manufacturing of the detergent, fibers. Now which of the fibers are being made from here? We can say polyester, nylon, acrylic, etc. These already we have studied in the other chapters. We are having here polythene and other man-made plastics also being made from petrochemicals, means we are using some of the portions from it using in manufacturing of these things. Hydrogen gas obtained from the natural gas is also used in the production of the fertilizers, especially the urea. Then we are having that these are the great impact of the petroleum which we are getting, because it is possessing so many things, and thus we are naming it as the black gold. Now we know that why it is black, because its color is dark, so it is known as black, and white gold because it is very precious, so it is gold. So black gold is the other name given to the petroleum. Now we are having a table where you can find that some of the constituents of the petroleum which are coming out from the petroleum and the uses also along with it. Let's see them. We are having the first one as the petroleum gas in the liquid form, that is LPG. It is being used in the fuel for home and industries. The second one we have is the petrol. These are the things which are more often being used by us. So we are just highlighting these things. It is used in the motor fuel, aviation fuel, solvent for the dry cleaning also. The next we have is the kerosene. It was used in the fuel as the stove. Now fuel for the stoves means it was in the ancient time, not nowadays. Lamps and for the jet aircraft, yes, that is the recent use we are having in the for the kerosene. Next is the diesel for the heavy motor vehicles and electric generators. Lubricating oil is used for the lubrication process. Then we have the paraffin wax, which is used for manufacturing of the ointments. Now what are the ointments actually? Ointments are the creams which you are applying on the skin to make it more fairer, and sometimes even the tubes which are available in the market for some skin diseases, that is the ointment. Next we have is the candles, and in Vaseline also we have the paraffin wax in huge amount. We have the last one as the bitumen. It is being used in the paints and road surfacing. So these were the constituents of the petroleum which we use often and their uses. Now let us see something about the natural gas, that is the third one as an exhaustible natural resource. So what is this natural gas and why it is so much of importance? Yes, it is important fossil fuel. Why? Because it can be transferred very easily by the way of the pipelines, and as we know that there are so many facilities nowadays where we can transfer these gases also very easily. Now the second point we have is it can be stored with the high pressure, as the name given, compressed natural gas means CNG. Yes, you people are now aware about the CNG word. Before that, compressed natural gas was something difficult, but CNG is very known to us because we can see there are so many auto rickshaws available with the CNGs. We can have the even cars also with the CNGs. So now we are familiar with the word, that is CNG, that is nothing else than the natural gas only. Next one we have is that CNG is for the power generation and the fuel for the transportation. We know that CNG is very important because it is a gaseous form, so we can easily transfer it from one place to another, and it is very easy to use as a fuel also for the transportation. So it is very easy for us to utilize them. Now what are the advantages of this thing and why it is important for us? So advantages we are having is CNG can be used directly, so it does not need any of the refining in that. It can be directly taken and can be used. Okay. So directly used for the burning in the homes and the factories. So if you are using these sources in your places, you can directly use these things. We don't have to go for the refining it and having the special things for it, and we can pay for the refining also. No. So it is easy to available and no refining is required. Then for supplying through the pipes, it is supplied through the pipes also. So it is very easy to be taken into the houses also or in the factories also. Now we have the examples where it is being utilized nowadays. It is being used in Gujarat, in Surat. We have the network of the pipelines going over there, where at the houses also, at your domestic place, you can have these pipelines, and in the way that it is available in the stoves. So you don't have to go for any places to find out these CNGs, or like us that we are having the LPG bottles that will come to our house places, doorsteps, and we have to pay to them, but it is different. Only the pipelines are available, so that you don't have to go to anywhere and find the bottles. It is available with very ease. You just have to pay the money for them. Okay. Then the next example is in the Delhi, and there are other places also in India where these types of the systems are available to see. Here we have the uses. Where are the CNG useful for? It is useful for the starting material for the manufacturing of many chemicals. So chemicals and fertilizers are being made with the help of these natural gases, and even you can say the CNG. Now look at the sources where the CNG or natural gas is available to us in the nature. So it is available in Rajasthan, Maharashtra, also available in the Krishna and Godavari deltas. So there we can find the sources of this natural gas. Now there would be a question in your mind, and even there is a question in the Bujo's mind also, that if these are the things which are going to be exhausted and they are so much of useful for us, then why can't we prepare these things in the laboratories? So he is thinking correct, and even you are also thinking correct. But here is the answer for that question, that these things are prepared from the dead organisms, means we need to have the dead bodies, and that also, after that also we need to have the high pressure and high temperature on them, which is not possible in the laboratory, and this is a slow process. It is not a process within 1 month or 2 months. It will take millions of years to form these natural exhaustible things. Thus we cannot prepare these things in the laboratory. This was under the science terminology, but there are some of the steps which are under our control. Now what are these aspects? Let us have a small glance on it. We know that there are some natural resources which are very limited to us. They are as available in nature and we are using in more often. So we are having these things as fossil fuels, forest, minerals. If these things will be vanished once, it will not be regenerated very soon. So we need to take care about these things. Nature has gifted us, but if we are not taking care about it, it is really going to finish and there will be no regeneration of it in faster moment. The dead organisms required for the millions of years to be buried under the earth's crust, and so we can find out all these things for us. But that is not possible if we have cut all these things at once, because it will take millions of years to make and form the fossil fuels again. So what are the things that is going to harm these other aspects? Burning of these things will lead to, means when we are using these things, we are burning them at once as a form of the fuel or in some other aspects. Now what is the result of this thing we are having is, we are getting as the air pollution. Yes, whatever the source that you are using as a fuel, you are burning it, and as a result we are taking out is the smoke, which is the air pollution. The second thing we have is the global warming. Now global warming nowadays, recently only we can know that there are some of the glaciers of the ice which have been melted. There are some of the continents which are under the water, means they are just submerged inside the water. Their water level of the sea has become higher, means there will be in short time the whole of the earth, that is the land portion, will be just submerged inside the water. So we need to take care that the temperature of the earth does not rise up at the level where the glaciers will completely being melted. So this is in our hand that we have to look out for. So there are some of the units or institute, you can say, which are constructed for taking care of these things. What is that? That is known as Petroleum Conservation Research Association. This is an association which is made by the human beings for the humankind, that we can preserve all these things as a natural only, so that we can use it for further aspects, and what are the things that is very harmful and how we can control by ourselves, what is there in our hand. So let us see some of the tips given by PCRA, that is Petroleum Conservation Research Association. This will be helping us out. Some of the tips are given by them for us and to preserve our life only. That is, constant and moderate speed for our vehicle is must. Some of the people, being the youth or being some other people, are also having the problem. They have got the bike or they have got the Activas and whatever the vehicles they possess. They have got it once and they will be just rushing out of the way all these vehicles. But on the road, when you are driving, do you feel that if you are driving very fast, it will be good for you? not even for the other people. Accidentally if you will fall, if you have some of the other manufacturing of these things, then what will happen? You will also fall down and even the others will also be getting harm from that. So this is one of the things that they have said, that constant and moderate speed is required by every person who are driving on the road. The second thing is, switch off your engine when you are standing in the when you are having more of the traffic, or wherever you are standing near the railway tracks. So when, if it is the railway track that are stopped for you people to drive inside, means the trains are arriving and we have to stand over there. What we should do? We should not be keeping it on and waiting for the train to run fast and we should move faster out of the road. No, it is not so. We should be switching off our engine. So what will be the profit for this? We will be saving our fuel only. So by that we are saving our money only. So please take in consideration that we should be following these more often steps. Ensure correct tire pressure. People don't look out for the tires. They just run and rush for the work they are doing. But if you will be looking for the tire pressures, it will be giving you more of the positiveness. Means what? It will be, if you are having more of the pressure in the tires or correct pressure, then your fuels which are you have in the vehicles will be less used over there. And if you are having less of the pressure in your tires, it will be used in more often and you will not be reaching on the time at particular place. So this is what we should be looking out. The last point that it here is sharing that ensure the regular maintenance of the vehicle. Maintenance means what? When we are using the vehicles, we go in all the environment and all the atmospheric situations, whether it is rainfall, whether it is winter, whether it is summer. But when we are driving in the rainy seasons, we know that there is lot of mud and lot of water which is going to immerse in our bike or vehicles. So for that reason, our engine will be working very slow or having some of the disturbance inside it. For that, we need to go to the people who are cleaning them. We should be giving them for the cleaning of the vehicles. Means we are sharing that we have to maintain the vehicle. If you are cleaning your vehicles at particular time interval, again you will be in a profit of that, because there will be less of the engine being worked out over there and you will be getting more of the profit by the way of the money also, because it will be less of the rusting and less of the usage of the engine which is very badly working. So this is what the aspects are given to us by the PCRA, which is going to have some benefits to us. So by this we are going to finish the chapter, but before that let's have a small recap of whatever we have studied until this in this chapter, that is coal and petroleum. So going to the first point, we have studied about the inexhaustible natural resources and natural resources which are exhaustible. Then we have seen the activity where 7 generations are being shown to you people, which are telling us that how if we are grabbing all the things which are available in nature in fast often, there will be no things which are available to the next few generations. So we have to look out for them also. Next we had studied about the coal, that is one of the exhaustible natural resource. From coal we have taken out coke, coal tar and coal gas, which were used often in different things. Then we have seen for the petroleum. Petroleum, as we know that it is a treasure of so many things and how it could be refined, and so we are getting different things from it. Then we have seen about the natural gas. So natural gas also being used in so many of the other things, that is the CNG. Then at the last moment we have seen about the things which are available in the nature and how we can stop using them for long time durations. We can have it also by our hand when we are utilizing it. Now then at the last moment we have seen about the tips given by the PCRA. So this is about the chapter number 5, that is coal and petroleum. Have a nice time to all of you.